is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. We're going to enhance our chi today. We're going to feel the love. We're going to embrace the day. No negativity. Screw that. If you don't like it, screw it. It's called honesty. I'm not negative. I'm not a negative Nancy. I'm honest. You don't like it, it's okay by me. Go watch somebody else. But I'm going to always give you the God's honest truth, according to Tim at Online Big Blue. I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff because I think the people that listen to me are smart enough to understand football and understand when you're pointing out flaws. It's not because you're being negative. It's because of the fact that you are looking at all sides of the coin. And that's all we're going to say about that. Also, we're going to have a weekly podcast again. We're bringing back the MetLife Mafia. We're going to do a weekly podcast show. It will be on iTunes and all that. You can also find Online Big Blue on iTunes, but it's basically just a rebroadcast of the YouTube channel. But we will have new podcast content starting next week. But I wanted to do a show today, and it's going to be bold predictions in July for pre-training camp editions. Some predictions I'm going to make are going to be interesting. Some are going to be, you're going to scratch your head. And I hope that you think about it after I mention it. And then we can kind of talk about it in the chat. Because I love the comments. I do love reading the comments. I do enjoy reading the comments. I do love responding. Bold prediction number 1 for the 2021 New York Giants July pre-training camp edition. Neither Evan Ingram or Kyle Rudolph will lead tight ends in receptions for the Giants this season. Book it. Mark it. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Caden Smith. I don't think it's going to be Tolololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololol San Francisco. But I have a feeling neither tight end, Ingram or Rudolph, will be the leader in receptions for tight ends for the Giants this year. I don't think Rudolph's going to make it through the season. And I have a feeling Evan Ingram is going to be traded. Who will it be? I don't know. Don't know yet. Check with me when the roster is more firmed up at the end of training camp, and we can make that decision. But I just got a gut feeling on that one. Bold prediction number 2. Saquon Barkley will rush for over 750 yards and at least 8 touchdowns. And I think that will be a good season. He just had his ACL done in October. You figure 8 to 12 months to be conservative to come back. I don't think he is going to do anything in training camp. I don't think he's going to get into preseason games. I think they are going to slowly work him into the rotation with the running backs. I don't think he is going to become Saquon Barkley of yore until about week 7 or 8. And I think once he gets acclimated to the system again, he can trust his knee. And a lot of ACLs is just it's mental. And I've had 2 of them. It's the mental aspect that you have to believe that you are at full strength and you could do what you did before. But I have a feeling that he will at least 750 yards, at least 8 touchdowns. Minimum. And I think you can book that as well. Bold prediction number 3. We're going to jump over to the defensive side of the ball for a second. Mr. 51, and that's what we're going to call him now, Mr. 51. Mr. Ojulari will have at least 7.5 sacks and become the defensive rookie of the year. I think him pairing at times with Blake Martinez is going to be paramount to success. I think Blake's ability to find the ball carrier and, move into double teams. Well, Blake will be double teamed more this year, but that's going to open up the door for Mr. Ojulari. And I think the sack total is going to be higher because I believe that Mr. 51 will be playing more defensive end as well. And I don't think he's going to be playing defensive end because of the fact that the Giants are going to think that he is the best option. I think they're going to do it out of necessity because we really truly don't have any true defensive ends on the roster. So I just have a feeling he'll get at least 7.5 sacks and he will be a focal point of the Giants defense. I don't think it's going to happen right away. I think he will build up into it. I think he is going to find. I think he'll find his way. I think he'll find his rhythm. But it may take a couple of weeks, but I think he will get there. Bold prediction number 4: Leonard Williams,
king of the almost sack,
will revert back to king of the almost sack. I'm seeing 4.5 to 5 sacks. I'm not saying he is not going to have a good season. I just think that you remove Dalvin Tomlinson from the equation. You are removing some of the double teams that Dalvin would hold on to in the middle of the line. And people are like, well, you have Dexter Lawrence. Well, you know what? The problem is you had Dexter Lawrence, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Leonard Williams on the same line. You remove one of the three and you take away a third of that line. They are not going to double team Dalvin anymore in the middle of the field. Dalvin did so much more besides just plugging the gaps on the runs. He was a plug to take up 2 bodies, and that freed up Leonard Williams to move forward and get the sacks. Now we've said this before, we've broken it down before. A lot of Leonard Williams sacks were coverage sacks. And I think the coverage should be better this year, but I also think that teams are going to focus solely on Leonard Williams at times. So the double teams are going to probably end up on that end of the field, and then what they're going to do is they're going to drop a tight end. They're going to chip them with a tackle. You know, they're going to do so many different things to stymie Leonard Williams. He may be
king of the almost sack
and still be that disruptor, but he's not going to have the sack total. Sorry, I just don't see it. And honestly, if you try to convince me that otherwise, LT said it best.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point: don't smoke crack.
Because when you have a season like you had, Leonard, 1 out of 6, teams are now going to put, they're basically they're just going to focus on you. Bold prediction number, I don't even remember what number, so we'll just call it J. The New York Giants offense will be in the top 20 in regards to total offense. Top 20. I know it's not that bold of a prediction, but when you finish as low as we did, that would be a monumental leap. I think few things are going to happen. I think Barkley's going to come back. I don't think that Kenny G is going to be as effective as people think he is going to be, because I do think he's going to draw a lot of double coverage, especially in the beginning of the season, and they're going to make the Giants beat them with the likes of Darius Slayton and Tony and Evan Ingram. I do think he'll have a good season. Kenny G, that is. But like I said, I do think he's going to draw a lot of double teams. I think in some ways he's going to be a little bit frustrated. But I think the Giants have enough on that side of the ball to move up into at least 20th in regards to offense. And honestly, if we can jump into 20 and the defense is still a top 10, if not a top 5 defense, you could potentially be looking at 10 wins. And that was a problem. The problem last year, of course, was not the defense, it was the offense. But you could be looking potentially at a 10-win season if we jump into the top 20. And I think we can do just that. Now I'm going to do my Daniel Jones prediction. Just kidding. I'm not giving my Daniel Jones prediction. I'm not giving it up that early.
That's what she said. I'm
going to wait a little bit. I'm thinking I'll wait a couple of weeks. I'll wait maybe into the start of training camp to see how he looks and, how well he's moving with all he's done for his pocket presence. But we'll give a Daniel Jones prediction a little bit later on. Bold prediction number last one. The New York, can't even talk today. The New York Giants will win at least 8 games. And I'm saying at least 8 games. I'm gonna take the over on the Vegas odds, and I'm saying they're gonna win at least 8 games, if not more. All this also, again, will be predicated if the offense moves into the top 20, if the defense stays within the top 10, we should have a minimum of an 8-win season. I think we may still miss out on the playoffs, but you know what? It's way too early to give a playoff prediction. Let's see, how we come out injury-wise via training camp. Let's see how some of the younger players progress. Let's see how the veterans progress. Let's see how the offensive line holds up. We're going to do an offensive line prediction. We'll do other predictions later, but I kind of want to just do these because they were the ones that were really just on the top of my head. But I think we'll have another prediction show another time. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you can like, subscribe. Even that big thing what it means.